Today, we're dishing out generic budgeting tips that actually works. I mean, you'd be surprised at how much you can save without flipping a single coupon or giving up your favorite cereal. Well, kinda, but we'll circle back to that soon. Hey everybody, welcome to Thrifty Budgeting. Today, we're diving into 7 generic budgeting tips that can help you stretch your dollars further without sacrificing quality. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end because these are the kind of tips that might just change the way you shop from now on. Alright, let's get to it. So whether you're trying to free up some room in your monthly budget or just looking for ways to save a little extra, one of the easiest places to start is with the products that you buy every day. One dependable way to cut costs is buying generic. Generic brands have been around since the 1970s, and over the decades, more and more brand options have popped up on shelves everywhere, and they've gotten pretty dang good at it. But get this, some generic and name brand products actually share the same exact ingredients, and in some cases, they're even made in the same factory, just slapped with different labels. So really, they're part of the same family, just one shows up to the party in designer clothes while the other's rocking comfy sweats. Now, if you've been firmly team name brand up to this point, hey, no judgment. But if saving money is your goal, it might be time to rethink things, because paying more for a recognizable label doesn't always mean that you're getting something better. Okay, let's count down some generic budgeting tips that truly deliver, starting with tip number 7, baking goods. So let's start this off in one of the tastiest spots in the house, the kitchen. Now, if you love baking, you're going to absolutely love this first tip. When money's tight and you're picking up ingredients for your favorite recipes, choosing generic baking goods can lead to some serious savings. For pantry staples like sugar and flour, there's really no reason to splurge on name brands. I mean, most of the time, you're paying for the packaging, not a difference in quality. But don't stop with just the basics. I mean, you can stock up on so many more things like generic cornmeal, cornstarch, baking soda, baking powder, yeast, sweeteners, salt, butter, eggs, dairy, extracts, and spices, and bring all those savings home with you. Now, if you're still unsure, here's something to chew on. A lot of chefs actually prefer generic versions of basic ingredients like salt, sugar, and baking soda. So if it's good enough for them, it's definitely good enough for our next batch of cookies. Don't you think? Speaking of kitchen essentials, that brings us to tip number 6, paper towels. So let's tackle another household item that just quietly eats away at your budget, and that's paper towels. Now, these little helpers are a bit of a hot topic in the budgeting world. A lot of folks swear by them, and others just swear them off. Personally, I find them super handy, and I use them a lot, but that doesn't mean I'm blowing my whole grocery budget on name brand rolls. When it comes to paper towels, there's really no need to pay extra for the fancy label. Generic options do their job just fine, whether you're soaking up spills, wiping down counters, or handling everyday messes. And sure, name brands might promise extra absorbency or show off a pretty quilted pattern, but is that worth paying 50% more? For most of us, probably not. Now, generic paper towels offer nearly the same performance at a fraction of the cost. They're really a simple swap that can make a noticeable difference over time, especially in busy households that go through roll after roll. Now, shifting gears from cleaning up messes to preventing them in the first place, that brings us to tip number 5, diapers. I know, being a parent means wanting the very best for your little one, and who could blame you, right? Yes, of course, buy the name brand food for your tiny tot. I'm 100% on with that, but not every baby-related purchase needs that premium price tag. I mean, babies go through a lot of diapers, like a mountain of them, and using a store brand diaper can save you a surprising amount of money without sacrificing surpassing performance. Now, many generic options work just as well as the big name brands. In fact, generic diapers can cost around 9 to 11 cents per diaper, while some brands like Love's, Huggies, and Pampers can run you 20 to 35 cents each. So let's break it down. Buy 40 generic diapers at 9 cents each, and you're out just $3.60. But go with name brand at 35 cents per diaper, and that same pack costs you $14. Now that's a big price difference. Now, of course, this might take a little trial and error to find the brand that works best for you and your little one. And even then, you'll still save more buying in bulk. Now, let's move on to more generic budgeting tips. Tip number 4, cereal. Now, off-brand cereals have been around for ages. I still remember visiting my grandmother. I mean, she had head to the store and come back with the biggest giant bag of generic cereal for just my brother and me. And back then, I'll admit, as a kid, I thought it was a little disappointing. I mean, where was the colorful box, the cartoon mascot? But now I get it. And honestly, I can't even taste the difference. I mean, today, a lot of off-brand cereals nearly taste identical to their name brand counterparts, and the price tag is always easier to swallow. Did you catch that? A bowl of cereal is one of the quickest, easiest ways to get breakfast on the table before rushing out the door. And for every big name box like Cheerios, Corn Flakes, Fruit Loops, Lucky Charms, there's almost always a generic twin sitting right next to it on the shelf, usually with a sassy name and nearly the same look. And sure, the shapes might vary a little, but believe me, your mouth isn't going to notice that much of a difference. And if your family goes through a lot of cereal, switching to generic brands could save you a ton over the course of a month. And if you want to stretch those savings even more, buy in bulk, shop sales, use coupons or savings apps when you can. And here's a quick bonus. A lot of generic cereals come in large plastic bags instead of boxes. And if they do come in a box, it's usually paper thin anyway, right? So to keep things fresh, just store them in an airtight container and enjoy that crunchy goodness every morning. Goodbye staleness. Alright, now that we've got breakfast covered, let's talk about another daily essential that can take a huge bite out of your budget if you're not careful. Tip number 3, medication. Today, it's really easy to spend more on medication than you really need to, and often you don't even realize it. Now, generic prescription and over-the-counter medications are not only more affordable, but they're also held to the same standards as their name brand counterparts. That's right, the FDA requires them to use the same active ingredients, undergo the same testing, and meet the same quality standards. So when you pick up that store brand bottle of ibuprofen instead of the flashy name brand version, you're getting the same relief for a whole lot less. Now, here's a quick example. At the time of this recording, Equate ibuprofen costs just 2 cents per tablet, while Advil runs you about 13.6% per tablet. Now, that's nearly 7 times the price for the same thing. And let's be honest, if the results are identical, why pay more for just a brand name? I mean, those savings can really add up over time, especially if you're buying medications regularly for yourself or your family. So next time you're at the pharmacy or browsing the medicine aisle, reach for the generic. Your budget is going to thank you and your headache won't know the difference. So now that you're saving a load on your meds, try tip number 2, cleaning products. When it comes to keeping your home fresh and sparkling, name brand doesn't always mean better. It usually just means pricier. So the truth is, many store brand cleaning products like floor cleaners, dish soap, glass spray, and laundry detergent are made with nearly identical ingredients to their high-priced twins. And in most cases, they work just as well for the fraction of a cost. I mean, sure, your label might not be as shiny or the scent quite as Ocean Breeze Lavender Mist Vanilla Sunrise, but if it cleans, it cleans. And your counters, they won't care what brand did the scrubbing. So in whenever possible, be sure and reach for generic or in-house options. I mean, you're going to be shocked at how much money you can save on everyday supplies. And hey, don't overlook the dollar stores for budget-friendly basics like dish soap, scrubbing brushes, and even disinfectant wipes. A clean home and a happy budget? Now that's the kind of shine we like to see. Let's move on to our final generic budgeting tip. Tip number 1, paper products. So let's wrap things up with something that's probably in your pantry right now, and that's paper products. Now, paper plates used to have a bit of a reputation. You know the ones, paper thin, bendy, and ready to collapse under the weight of anything heavier than a slice of toast. But times have changed. Today, generic paper plates have really come a long way, and some of them can actually hold their own against the heavyweights. Now take a certain big name heavyweight brand, for example. You know, those sturdy, soap-proof designer pattern plates we all know. Now a pack of about 186 plates from that brand might cost you around $20, coming in roughly at 11 cents per plate. Now compare that to Great Value's heavy-duty plates, where you get 200 plates for just $9.97, or about 5 cents each. Now that's a 55% savings without sacrificing quality. But don't stop there. I mean, you can get generic napkins, plastic flatware, and cups, which are also great ways for you to be able to save, especially for things like birthdays and cookouts, or those I am not doing the dishes tonight kind of meals. So unless you're planning to frame your dinnerware, why not go with the budget-friendly version and pocket the savings? And there you have it, 7 generic budgeting tips that can help you save real money without giving up the things that you use every day. Now keep in mind, you might need to test drive a few store brands to find your favorites. But hey, once you do, you'll be shaving dollars off your receipt without sacrificing that quality, just like a budgeting pro. So next time you're out shopping, skip the fancy labels and give the generics a second look, and let your cart work smarter, not pricier. Until next time, stay thrifty.